Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Mr. BuildWealth. I'm back at it again, and if this is your first time joining me, I'm here to share information and resources that can help you get started with building wealth. And for this session, I usually put my website into the thread, but actually I'm gonna do something a little different today. I'm gonna punch in me and my partner Robert have an event coming up in April for Financial Literacy Month, and it's the financial cheat codes. So check it out. I want you to take a look, tell your friends about it, tell your family. We're teaming up because I think some people don't want to listen to me, but they may listen to him, and I think vice versa. And I think if you're in this industry, we find that we're saying the same thing. It's just who's gonna connect with us as the messenger. And so I know sometimes that people don't want to hear it from me, but I want you to check out Financial Cheat Codes happening next month, April, which is Financial Literacy Month. It's a 5-part series, and we're really teaming up to help people to stop spending themselves broke. And if you don't understand what that means, you probably should be there at one or all 5 of those sessions. So take a look. And for this session, though, I want to talk about focusing, or I called it focused on the wrong things. And this happens. It's like a common occurrence in my world of when people approach me for financial planning assistance, they tell me what they want to do. And I'm a really good listener. Like, I ask really good questions, and before I jump to conclusions, recommendations, solutions, I want to find out more about what's most important to you. And so actually, for anybody who ever has connected with me, just know I keep really good notes. Like, I write down what you're saying. And so on this occasion, the gentleman and his wife they had quite a few concerns. So I said, give me the concerns in order, or like, you tell me how the order should be. Like, what is bothering you the most about your current financial state? So they had said retirement planning, college planning, and investment planning. And so I was like, okay, retirement, college, investments. Okay, so I got an idea, and we kind of talked through why retirement was most important. And so what I found is, I think the wife had like an IRA she was just starting, because I think all her previous employers didn't offer a retirement plan. The hubby he was in an account, but he didn't really understand what he was doing. And so I said, well, that's where we should focus our attention. And I'm very candid. I said, well, you can't take out a loan for retirement. So I like the fact that you all are both focused on, or want to focus on, retirement if we were to move forward with any type of planning. And we talked about investments, and they were telling me about some things they were interested in, and so on and so forth. The college plan, they'd already started an account. And so I gave them some quick nuggets, because I was like, I don't know what they will or won't do, but I want to show them that I can be a valuable resource if I'm a member of their money team. So I gave them a few things to mull over around how they can even like supercharge their current strategy for college planning. And I think their son was like 5 or 6, so they got some pretty good time. But they already had an incredible head start. So I was like, that's probably going to be number 3 and not number 2, although they told me college planning was second on their list. So any discovery call that I do, I like to ask people what they would like to do next. Like, give me a decision right then and there if you're comfortable. But if you're not, because I understand that these conversations can be a little intense, and so you may want some time to kind of think it over about what you really want to do. Now, my hope is that you can make that decision before we finish the discovery call, but I respect the process. You want to now I might have been the first person you've actually interviewed. So you want to go try out and see what else the market has to offer. And I'm never going to fault anybody for that, because I do the same thing. So I have this kind of 2-week threshold where if I don't hear back from you in 2 weeks, which I think is pretty generous, then your silence is kind of giving me the answer. So pretty used to this at this point in my career. So the 2 weeks came, of course, hadn't heard anything from this couple. So I send my email and say, hey, it's been 2 weeks, just as promised, following up, checking in, have we made a decision? And that's pretty much the email. It's not, how's life? It's just, we talked about this at length about, I'm going to follow up with you. And so hubby responds back, and it is around some investment strategy that I've heard. And he said, I want to take a look at this strategy and see how it works for the rest of the year for investing. But, appreciate the time, blah, 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 blah. We'll talk. And I'm sitting here thinking like, didn't y'all just tell me 2 weeks ago that you needed to get your retirement plan on point? Like, why not just say you want to only focus on investing? Because we just talked 2 weeks ago. This is how I'll say this is how much fun I have with seeing how full of shit people are about what they want and how they will not focus on the proper things. You gotta focus on the most important things first. You said retirement was number one. We agreed that it was number one. Wifey don't even know what she doing. Hubby barely knows. And then you respond 2 weeks later with, I'm thinking about this investment strategy I'm going to try for the rest of the year. People are a trip. And this is why a lot of us won't achieve our financial goals, or maybe we won't achieve them as quick as we would want, because we are focused on the wrong things. So clearly my conversation with this couple sparked some interest in wanting to do more research. But, they were a referral to me, and I said, well, I hope my boy told you how I roll. And I explained that to them during our discovery call. I said, I want people that want to execute plans and work with me. And, I want to figure out how I fit into your overall strategy. But I'm not going to say this couple isn't going to figure it out, but they're focused on the wrong thing. You can't come out and say and I know the investment strategy he was referring to in his email, but I was like, retirement is and should be the primary focus. And now you've gotten distracted by some investing strategy that may or may not work. Now, here's what would have made me happier had he said, I'm going to try this strategy as a part of our retirement plan. Then I would have been like, cool. But he didn't say that. All he said was, I'm trying to invest and see how it works out for this year. People, this is why you need me. You need a team. You need somebody, because left to your own devices, you will go off the wrong way. And this is why, again, people will continue to struggle with their financial plans simply because they're focused on the wrong things. And this happens with all different types of topics that people tell me they want to do, they want to focus on. And then I'm like, so why are you focused on something else? Maybe they'll find what they're looking for in this investment strategy. Maybe they will do it themselves. I don't know. I don't know what they will decide, but I always sleep well at night knowing that I told them what they should be doing. I told them to, and of course, I know they're going to shop around. I said, consider other people, because everybody's got a different approach to this game. But I said, if anybody says anything that's not close to what I said, they're probably just trying to sell you. And I said, that's not how I roll. So I hope those types of statements and remarks kind of, pull back some of that tension of, well, I don't want to pay this brother. I don't want to, support him. Maybe by saying certain things that helps to cool that down a bit, but maybe it doesn't. Because people still going to think, well, why should we pay somebody when we can do it ourselves? Not saying you can't, but your email response has already told me you need me. We're supposed to be talking about retirement. You talk about some crazy investment strategy. So I want you to focus on the right things. If you find yourself in this type of predicament where you keep wanting to try to figure it out on your own and you're doing things that could be helpful, it just doesn't make sense like right now. Like, you got other things that should be prioritized above what you think you should be doing. That's where an expert comes into play. So if you find yourself in this situation and you're focusing on the wrong things, I would love to connect with you. Maybe it's a 15-minute phone call. The link's in my bio. Hit me up. Maybe it's longer. Maybe you should come to this Financial Cheat Codes event. I'm partnering up with my partner next month for our Financial Literacy Month, because we're continuing to focusing on the wrong things, which is why we're getting lackluster results with our financial plans. I keep telling people my goal is to disrupt generational poverty. And as long as we focus on the wrong things, that's not going to happen. So I'm going to keep searching for people who want to work on the right things. And if that is you, let's talk. lastly, and I'm going to keep bringing this up too, check out my YouTube channel. I have what's called my Build Wealth Observations, which are just my diary entries. These are real stories, real people. Sometimes they're about my family, myself. But I want people to start to get a better idea of why I'm so adamant about trying to share this information, because I've been in the industry for so long and I'm seeing the exact same things pop up over and over. And this topic today is no different. Focused on the wrong things is the big reason why people cannot move forward with their financial futures in terms of being successful and getting rich and getting wealthy. So, please check out the YouTube channel, Build Wealth Observations. Take a listen, like, subscribe, share it, comment. I want more people to understand that I actually know what I'm talking about, but two, that I think I'm doing it in a manner that you can probably relate to and it's not going to go over your head, but also to giving it's honest. I think honesty is a big thing for me, just being in this industry where I don't want a lot of people to sell you on these dreams, but I want to really make sure you understand that when you begin to focus on the right things, you can then chart an incredible journey into financial independence, financial freedom, building that legacy. There's a lot of things you can do when you're focused on the right thing. All right. So I'll catch you all next time.